My video for May the 6th, 2018 is entitled, I Am Politically Incorrect. A friend gave me a coffee cup. No, I don't drink coffee, with that saying on it. I laughed. I most certainly am considered politically incorrect by the establishment. That enterprise, of course, constitutes the religious and political structure of this world. Since I began thinking outside the box of ideas that were accepted in our culture, I have been considered incorrect by many, including apparent friends. To me, politics and religion are both part of the same structure of control by which the so-called elite operate their system that enslaves everyone. More and more of us are in various stages of awakening, finally realizing how sinister our leaders really are. For millennia, they have seen themselves as superior to humanity. This implies that they are not human, which I think is an uncomfortable truth for most of us. As long as we remain politically correct, we are enslaved in and by the matrix of control. I keep asking when the supposedly loving Creator will free us, and many tell me that will never happen, that it's up to us. That's not good news, as I see it. Yes, when my friend gave me the cup, she says, I hope you don't take it as being offensive. And I don't, but yet many of my friends are part of the don't talk negative. I don't want to hear anything that's negative. Well, exposing the corruption in religion and politics is always going to be labeled negative, especially by those that buy into the established lies that we've been told, lies which tell us our particular point of view is the only right one, which of course puts us at odds and in enmity with everyone else that has a different political or religious viewpoint, or any viewpoint. You know, it doesn't even matter what the viewpoint is. The whole establishment idea is to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Actually, the conquering is by dividing. If we could come together and realize that we were all cut from the same cloth and the same fabric, regardless of our race, regardless of our gender, regardless of our nationality, regardless of our religious viewpoint, if we could see that we are all interconnected and that there is a singular web of life throughout all of the cosmos. That includes all universes, all worlds, all planets, all star systems, etc. It's all interconnected. It's all one. And until we see that, we will continue to fight wars. We will continue to play one-upmanship, fighting everyone that comes across as having an idea that challenges our perception of reality. And our perceptions of reality have all been doctored in the system in which we were born and are growing up. It's a sine qua non. It's not without which we can't help but be influenced by the system, because the system is how we are trained. We are educated in the system. We are brainwashed by our religions. We are totally controlled without even knowing that we're slaves. Like I said in a previous video and other videos earlier, initially slaves were in chains and they had to have guards guard them. And then they decided they'd come up with the money game. The money game will pay the slaves. And so the slaves didn't think they were slaves anymore. Now we're doing the same thing we were doing before, but now we're getting paid for it. So we're free. And even the guards became slaves because they were getting paid too. They started doing the same work that they were forcing the others to do when they were guards. It's all a con game, folks. The whole thing of human experience is a con game. We have been manipulated, and yet it's in plain view, but we are not given the tools to responsibly interpret what's happening. Now that's changing. I'm really, really happy that does seem to be going through some kind of a change. There is some kind of an awakening going on. And so more and more of us are becoming politically incorrect. That is, we're bucking the system. We need to buck the system or we'll never be free of it. We don't get free by saying, well, I can't talk about politics and religion because that's negative. No, those are the only two subjects that are meaningful, because that's where we've been manipulated, and that's the system through which we are controlled. We are enslaved, but we have to wake up to the fact that we are enslaved. When we finally get it, and I don't know how long that's going to take. I'd like to see some of the major changes happen in my lifetime. I thought I would get to see that. I'm not so sure anymore. But when humanity finally does awaken, we're going to think, man, it's so easy. How could I have been blinded for so long? But the system is a control grid, as I said, and it manipulates and it blinds us so that we don't see what we're actually seeing. We can't interpret what's happening because somehow we've been tricked. We've been tricked, and especially through silence. It's politically incorrect to question authority. But questioning authority is what has to be. That's why I challenge God. If God is really God, God isn't going to fall off his throne or her throne or its throne if we challenge the concepts. But we don't challenge anything till we first awaken to it. That means we have to become politically incorrect. We have to become religiously skeptical of everything that we have been told. It's good to question. It's not only good, it's essential if we are going to change anything. The first step is always awakening, because we can't move into something else if we don't know what the something else is. We have to have a vision of where we want to go, or we'll never get to where we're meant to be. And I think we're all meant to be free. Now, maybe there's some people that might disagree with that, but I think most people, even people within the so-called elite establishment, think that they are supposed to be free, but not free to hurt others, not free to eat children and rape children and kill children and infants and all the crazy things that are being revealed to us now that the elite has been involved in for such a long time. These are crimes against life itself, against any concept of a loving God. And we need to understand that. We need to grasp that. We need to see that. We need to realize that that is the nature of our situation. Because until we can get to that point, nothing else matters. There's not going to be anything that radically changes everything, not even the RV or the currency revaluation and going to asset-backed currency as opposed to fiat currency. Nothing's going to make any difference if we don't spiritually awaken. And that takes divine intervention as I see it, which is why I keep putting the thing on the Creator, on God, or whatever we want to call the Creator. And it doesn't, so many things are sidetracks that get us off the topic. We need to love one another. If we're not able to love others, then we don't get it yet, because that's the cornerstone. That's the thing that marks us as awakening. I'm not going to say awakened, because I'm not awakened yet. I'm awakening. And hopefully you are too. Thank you for listening, and namaste.